Comprehensive chapter summaries and notable quotes from Roxane Gay's Bad Feminist. Essays. Roxane Gay begins her book by defining herself as a bad feminist, a term she uses to reject the pressures of perfection often associated with the feminist movement. She shares her personal experiences with feminism, highlighting how she often feels at odds with the traditional feminist ideals. The concept of being a bad feminist is not about being against feminism, but rather about embracing feminism in a nonconformist, individualistic way. In the following chapter, Gay delves deeper into her personal life, revealing the complexities of her identity as a woman of color and a feminist. She opens up about her struggles, her triumphs, and her contradictions. This transparency allows the reader to connect with Gay on a more intimate level, understanding her perspective as a feminist navigating through the intersectionality of her identity. Gay then shifts her focus to society at large, discussing how rigid gender roles are detrimental to everyone. She argues that confining individuals into predefined roles based on their gender restricts growth and stifles individuality. This limitation, she asserts, is a loss for society as a whole, as it hinders the progress towards true equality and understanding. In the fourth chapter, Gay explores the concept of safety, or rather, the illusion of it. She discusses how, particularly for women, safety is more of a mirage than a reality due to the pervasive potential for violence. This reality, she argues, is a norm that needs to be challenged and changed, for it perpetuates fear and inequality. Moving on to popular culture, Gay critiques the TV series Girls, using it as a point of discussion for female representation in media. She points out that while the show is praised for its depiction of real, flawed women, the problem lies in the fact that it's one of the few doing so. This lack of diversity, she argues, is indicative of a larger issue of underrepresentation in media. In The Careless Language of Sexual Violence, Gay scrutinizes the rhetoric that surrounds sexual assault and the detrimental impact it has on survivors. She emphasizes that minimizing or dismissing such experiences perpetuates a harmful cycle, challenging us to confront the harsh reality of the prevalence of sexual violence in society. In The Solace of Preparing Fried Foods and Other Quaint Remembrances, Gay explores the role of nostalgia in shaping our perceptions of gender roles. She cautions against the lure of a rose-tinted past, reminding us that it often masks the harsh realities of sexism and inequality. Not Here to Make Friends delves into the concept of likability in literature and our daily lives. Gay argues that the pressure to be likable often restricts individuals, particularly women, from expressing their full selves. She advocates for authenticity over likability, encouraging us to embrace our complexities. In What We Hunger For, Gay dissects our cultural obsession with hunger, desire, and consumption. She asserts that our identities are deeply intertwined with what we consume, and in turn, what consumes us. She invites us to critically examine our appetites and their implications on our identities. The Politics of Respectability sheds light on the damaging effects of respectability politics on women and marginalized communities. Gay argues that imposing standards of acceptable behavior often serves to silence and oppress. She insists on the necessity of allowing individuals to define their identities without societal constraints. In When Less Is More, Roxane Gay delves deep into the societal expectations surrounding body image. She underscores the constant pressure individuals face to conform to an ideal size or shape. Gay expresses the difficulty of self-acceptance in a society that perpetuates unattainable beauty standards, constantly reminding us that we are not enough. Beyond the Struggle narrative critiques the one-dimensional portrayal of people of color in media. Gay brings to light the harmful tendency to focus solely on the hardships faced by these communities, ignoring their full, nuanced lives. She insists that their narratives extend far beyond their struggles and ought to be represented as such. In Some Jokes Are Funnier Than Others, Gay discusses the delicate balance between humor and offense. She argues that while humor can serve as a powerful tool for addressing difficult subjects, it should never cross the line into disrespect. The essence of humor, according to Gay, should not be about belittling others. The Trouble with Prince Charming dissects the fairy tale ideal of the perfect partner, ubiquitous in our culture. Gay highlights the unrealistic expectations set forth by these tales, warning that life is not a fairy tale and there are no guaranteed happy endings. In The Smooth Surfaces of Idle, Gay examines the concept of perfection. She emphasizes the damaging psychological effects of striving for an unattainable ideal. According to Gay, perfection is nothing more than an illusion that keeps us constantly chasing an unreachable goal. In The Morality of Tyler Perry, Gay critiques the moral messages portrayed in Perry's films, suggesting they may inadvertently perpetuate harmful stereotypes. She posits that art, in its essence, is a reflection of society, sometimes distorted, and it is crucial to analyze what is being reflected and why. Typing Away While the World Burns is a contemplative chapter where Gay reflects on her role and responsibility as a writer. She believes that writers have a duty to bear witness to societal happenings, injustices, and changes, acting as observers and reporters of human life and its many complexities. In The Last Day of a Young Black Man, she delivers a poignant examination of racial violence in America with a particular focus on young black men. The chapter is a heart-rending plea for change, expressing her exhaustion over the constant mourning for young black lives lost to violence. Dear Young Ladies Who Love Chris Brown So Much They Would Let Him Beat Them is a stern critique of celebrity idolization. Gay emphasizes that celebrities are not deities deserving of blind devotion. They are human, flawed, and should be held accountable for their actions, just like the rest of us. In the final two chapters, Bad Feminist, Take 1 and Take 2, Gay reiterates her self-identification as a bad feminist. She defends her stance, arguing that flawed feminism is better than no feminism at all. She encourages us to embrace our contradictions and continue striving for gender equality, even if we make mistakes along the way. 21. As Roxane Gay moves towards the end of her book, she highlights the importance of acknowledging and confronting privilege. She asserts the significance of using privilege to effect change, rather than allowing it to perpetuate inequality. In her own words, Gay states, "Privilege is a cage, and I refuse to be trapped." 22. In the next chapter, Gay examines the concept of essential feminism. She disputes the idea that there is a singular way to be a feminist. She reminds readers that feminism, like identity, is multifaceted and complex. She beautifully puts it, feminism is not a one-size-fits-all hat. 23. Gay then discusses the importance of intersectionality within feminism. She calls out the marginalization of women of color within the feminist movement and the necessity of inclusivity. She emphasizes, true feminism must be inclusive, or it is not feminism at all. 24. In the penultimate chapter, Gay delves into the issue of reproductive freedom. She argues that women's bodies should not be controlled by anyone but themselves. She passionately states, "No one should have a say in what I do with my body, except me." 25. In the final chapter, Gay reasserts her identity as a bad feminist. She insists that being a bad feminist is better than not being a feminist at all, and that it's okay to be imperfect. Her closing remark is a powerful one. "My feminism may be flawed, but it's better than no feminism at all." Chapter 16 delves into the controversial morality depicted in Tyler Perry's productions. Gay suggests that Perry's works present a distorted reflection of society, sometimes reinforcing harmful stereotypes. She emphasizes that art should challenge society, not merely echo its flaws. In Chapter 17, Gay contemplates the responsibility of a writer in society. She asserts that as a writer, she has an obligation to bear witness to the world's events and injustices. This duty, she believes, is crucial to creating meaningful and impactful work. Chapter 18 is a poignant exploration of racial violence in America, specifically against young black men. Gay expresses her exhaustion and sorrow over the persistent loss of black lives, highlighting the urgent need for systemic change. In Chapter 19, Gay examines the problematic idolization of celebrities, specifically focusing on Chris Brown. She criticizes the dangerous blind devotion some fans display for celebrities, irrespective of their actions or character flaws, underscoring the need for a more critical approach to fame. The book concludes with Chapter 20, where Gay reasserts her identity as a bad feminist. She maintains that imperfect feminism is preferable to no feminism, as it allows for growth, evolution, and a more inclusive movement. This assertion underlines the book's overarching theme of embracing one's contradictions. In The Last Day of a Young Black Man, Gay takes a sorrowful dive into the reality of racial violence in America. She talks about the tragic frequency of young black men losing their lives due to systemic racism. She writes with a palpable fatigue, stating, "I am tired of mourning for young black men," expressing the emotional toll this constant loss takes on her and the black community. In Dear Young Ladies Who Love Chris Brown So Much They Would Let Him Beat Them, Gay discusses the dangerous idolization of celebrities, particularly those with a history of violence. She warns against the blind devotion often given to these public figures, reminding readers that celebrities are not gods. This chapter is a stark warning about the consequences of misplaced admiration. In the penultimate chapter, Typing Away While the World Burns, Gay reflects on the role of the writer in society. She acknowledges the power and responsibility that come with her profession, underlining the importance of using her platform to shed light on issues that matter. She asserts, as a writer, I have a responsibility to bear witness. In The Morality of Tyler Perry, Gay critiques the problematic morality often presented in Perry's works. She points out the distorted reflection of society in his art, highlighting the need for more nuanced and diverse representations. She argues, art is a reflection of society, sometimes a distorted one. Bad Feminist, Take 1 and Take 2 concludes the book, where Gay reaffirms her identity as a bad feminist. She states her preference for being a bad feminist over not being a feminist at all, showcasing her commitment to the cause despite her perceived shortcomings. She delivers a powerful ending with the quote, I would rather be a bad feminist than no feminist at all. In The Morality of Tyler Perry, Gay navigates through the problematic morality presented in Perry's works. She argues that art, while a reflection of society, can sometimes present a distorted view that further perpetuates harmful stereotypes and societal norms. Typing Away While the World Burns serves as Gay's reflection on the role of the writer in society. She emphasizes the responsibility of the writer to bear witness, to observe and document the world around them, to give voice to the voiceless, and to challenge prevailing narratives. In The Last Day of a Young Black Man, Gay takes a hard, in-depth look at racial violence in America, particularly against young black men. She expresses her exhaustion at constantly mourning for young black men who have fallen victim to the systemic racism and violence prevalent in American society. Dear young ladies who love Chris Brown so much they would let him beat them, Gay examines the dangerous idolization of celebrities. She highlights the importance of understanding that celebrities are not gods and do not deserve blind devotion, especially when they exhibit harmful behaviors. In the concluding chapters, Bad Feminist, Take 1 and Take 2, Gay comes full circle by reiterating her identity as a bad feminist. She asserts that despite her perceived shortcomings and contradictions, she would rather be a flawed feminist than not identify as a feminist at all.